Hi, good everyone. Thanks for joining me today. One of the biggest things that I do that's causes me psychological pain is I have a belief that victory should come to me, that the idea of all these efforts is in fact victory. Now, as Joseph Goldstein might say, it seems like the path is the way. And victory for me is not something that's assured or even possible in many cases. And oftentimes I get up and I go to work and I'm thinking, I'm probably not going to win today, or the next day, or the next. In fact, the only victory I can find in a lot of cases is be transformed by the struggle. And other victories too. Obviously, we have resources we get from our employment. We have disciplines and skills that we get from that continual discipline. And even in working out, we come injured sometimes. We don't always achieve the body that we want, or the physique that we want, or the physical capability that we want. So there's often failures, in fact failure in everything. But to concentrate on the failures, I think, loses the point. There is victory to be found simply in the struggle. That is the victory. There's no actual victory to be found anywhere. It is simply just winning each moment by struggling towards a goal. That seems to be all there is. And it's easy to forget that. It's easy to become consumed by the reality that you might put all this effort in and there is no victory to be found anywhere. But this is not to say that there's not benefit from believing and striving for something. I always say to myself, strive for victory and steadfast to the end. What that means is I strive for victory, but I accept that sometimes you're not going to be successful. And steadfast to the end is the motto of the Indonesian submarine corps, which is kind of relevant. That's that motto I discovered through learning about the tragedy of the Indonesian submarine. I thought that in honour of them, it would make sense to me to adopt that as part of my motto. So strive for victory, steadfast to the end. It is helpful, and it's something I try and work on, is to also have a positive view. Like, do believe that you will be victorious, but also kind of understand that you probably won't. So act as though you will be victorious, but realise you probably won't in a lot of cases. And that's a double-edged sword, right? The truth is, I think, as a UFC fighter might say, the greatest personal developments or personal growth or personal winnings or personal victories come generally from external defeat. So when you realise that you're striving for something that's likely to lead to external defeat, that will probably bring you the greatest personal victory. There's a paradox there. I think the problem is that many people strive for victory and forget that it's not the victories that cause you to personally grow or personally win. It's those moments when you fight to the end in defeat. When there's things you realise you just can't win, but you still struggle regardless. Not to say we should embrace failure in every case, but failure, it seems inevitable. There's these moments now where I begin to realise that it is not that I'm going to win here, it's just simply that I must struggle. And in struggling, the victory comes no matter whether I pass or fail. It's not a test anymore, it's not a school test anymore, there's pass or failures. It's simply do the absolute best you can. And even a failure doesn't really matter. It's just what is. It's just a thing. As long as you're on the path and striving for the path, it doesn't matter. And along the path, there'll be things that just cannot be won. And that's okay. Still strive the best you can. Part of that striving is believing in victory, while also understanding that it doesn't matter. And that also somehow holding that dual concept that, even if it seems impossible, it doesn't matter. So in those moments of doubt, just simply say, well, yeah, sure, we're still going to win, but it really doesn't matter. It's all about the transformation. Interesting mental juggle. And part of this, I think, to be comfortable with that is to let go of the future. And Rashad Evans talked about this on a UFC fighter who said, you've got to be comfortable with the outcome, the worst outcome. And to some extent, to embrace the really difficult challenges in life, you have to be comfortable with the worst outcomes, losing your job, most of all. And, losing your job and having workplace conflict or negativity. I think a lot of that is what holds me back, this fear of just failing in some certain way. But in the end, you have to embrace that worst outcome and accept it. And only then you seem to be free to be happy, to really give everything you've got and strive for victory and then be steadfast to the end. All right, thanks for listening, guys. Appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.